Coming off of a loss against the Minnesota Vikings, the Lions suddenly looked around and were close to actually missing the playoffs, and they figured out what the issue was. Offensively, they just didn't have enough flow. Dan Campbell took over. He put on the glasses. He got out his play call sheet, and he went out there and cooked the Commanders for 44 points and a huge win. Is he going to remain at that position now for the rest of the season? What is up, Lions fans and fans of the NFL? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for checking us out. Check out our videos right here. We also do YouTube Lives. On these, we do our predictions for each team every week. You see me up here with Tony L. Tigre breaking it down. And one of the things I'm happiest about, we do our playlist. So in these, we divide up every single team. We have a breakdown with every individual team, whether that's a preview or a review throughout the season. And let's find the Lions and see what we've said about them recently. We told you guys that this would happen, that they would go out here and absolutely destroy the Commanders. We wondered if that tough loss was on Jared Goff against the Vikings, because we thought they would destroy the Vikings as well, and how Gibbs dominated against the Buccaneers. So check some of those out. Appreciate you guys for throwing a like and a sub up there. Now back to the episode. And this one's for the Lions, even though it was much expected because the Packers came out and lost. They have now jumped up to the 3 seed in the NFC, just behind the Seahawks and the Eagles. And with that tiebreaker, they are over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is huge. They have that division because of a win against the Bears, and we'll break down more of that. But they are now still in a good spot, not completely safe by any stretch. As you see, the 49ers are sitting there right now at 6-4. And the 49ers are currently outside of the playoffs. So a lot really going on in this NFC with those 8 competitors, and I guess the Panthers are 5-5, whatever. But this is going to be interesting for sure down the stretch, obviously for the Lions. But right now at the 3 seed, that is exactly where you want to be. And yeah, like we talked about, when you take a look at this division, divisional wise, they're only 1-2 in the division with that loss to the Vikings and that loss to the Packers. However, with the Bears being 0-2 and the fact that they just beat them, they do have the division right now. But they need to get some of these division wins coming up, and then they're going to get their opportunities. But they got to do better in the division and be a little bit more safe when it comes down to these tiebreakers, because the Packers obviously, actually, with that tie, I would say the Packers are lurking, but that's just going to come down to who has either more wins or less losses in that fashion. So for the Lions, you would like to be a little bit better in the division. However, 6-3 leading the division is where you want to be at this point. And remember, they won the division last year as well and got the 1 seed. Let's see how we've ended up in this spot. Week 1, the sky was falling as the Packers beat them 27-13. Offense didn't look good. They bounced back, scoring 52 on the Chicago Bears and beating them by 30. They beat the Ravens by 8, 38-30. A great win for them. Beat the Browns. Beat the Bengals. Beating both those teams pretty handily. A tough loss to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Tough place to win. You come back though. You beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bye week, tough loss to the Vikings, but now that Commanders win, you wonder if that rights the ship. But now they will be going to Philadelphia, Sunday Night Football. Some tough games coming up, but then some easy ones to kind of ease it out. So you got the Eagles, then you get the Giants, who just fired their coach, so that's good. You get the Packers, that's a tough game, but then you get the Cowboys, who look like a mess. And then Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears to finish it out. Those 2 divisional games, those will be big down the stretch. So I'm definitely interested to see what the Lions do going forward, especially with some of the recent changes that they've made. All right, guys, here we go. My favorite segment now, our comments of the week. And Lions fans, man, me and Lions fans, we've had a lot of conversations throughout the year, and they came out to show their support or disagreement with our last video, which was, is Jared Goff the problem? So let's talk about some of these. X the Trim Reaper X. His first comment was, I thought the left tackle position should have been upgraded with a trade and really thought Cam Jordan would have been a cheap, perfect fit. But what do I know? I think Cam Jordan definitely would help. Now, it's hard to upgrade the left tackle position in trades. A lot of people aren't in the business of trading good tackles because they're so rare and hard to come by. But that definitely seems to be an issue, specifically, in my opinion, without Frank Ragnow. Their offensive line hasn't been quite as good. Thomas Kellen Carlson dash XM5BC. I'm going to subscribe. Well, thanks for the sub. But, bruh, dude had instant A-gap pressure, no run game, took 5 sacks, and took a beating with no rhythm. He threw for almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and put up 24 with 0 run game. With a chance to win, if the defense could have got off the field and we didn't have, sorry, Mom, a fucking kick blocked. I got nothing but faith in 16. O-line does their job and give him 3 seconds. He will dice people apart. You need to stop the hate with Goff. He's our guy. Win or lose, he's our guy. I mean, hey, look, he proved me wrong this game. I do think that game, some of the difference was JJ was running and Jared Goff isn't quite as mobile. And I think in some of those positions, I'm not saying he should have went out there and made big plays. My thing is his lack of mobility sometimes stops him from even being able to get out of the pocket and throw the ball away when looking at some of those pressures. I also have an interesting thing with blitzes. I know it's kind of an O-line thing, but I am of a ring. Well, we'll talk about it. But I definitely think that's interesting that we're blaming kind of the you know what I mean, the O-line a lot, but the O-line isn't good. I think their run game has been solid this year, actually, if I look it up. But this game, it wasn't quite as good against the Vikings. Lightning Fisher 8177. They've got to run Goff 2 times a game, even if it's for 2 yards, and get the defense like, you know, oh my gosh, sorry Mom, holy shit. They also do have to do more misdirection. Defenses are pinning their ears back, knowing that Goff ain't moving. Need to roll him out in the open field. Check out the old Ben Johnson tapes. That's valid. They definitely need to roll him out more because a lot of it was he was a statue, but most of the time because he was sitting in the pocket, not really being able to make it happen. And last comment, truth shall set you free, 99. Well, I hope we get some truth. Rams fan here. So this is a Rams fan. Remember, Jared Goff used to play for the Rams. Goff did get us to the Super Bowl. And to be real, he beat the 49ers in the championship game, the one, I think, after the Super Bowl, but which he lost. He did his part. They were smoking those fools, but the Niners had a series of lucky bounces, and they came back to win that game. Yes, Goff is a statue, but so is Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I just wouldn't call them a joke because of Goff. Stafford can't run, but no one's calling the Rams a joke. Just my 2 cents. Couple components on that. Stafford can't run, but he can move, or whether they use him in movement, that's fine. He also has a cannon for an arm, which is kind of the other difference. So even if he can't move, he has the arm strength to be able to get it out of certain areas, and I do think he's more mobile than Jared Goff. He got them to the Super Bowl, but to get them there, it took a pass interference call that we all know was bad, and in the Super Bowl, he scored 3 points. But to call them a joke because of Goff, I don't know if I've called the Lions a joke. Maybe I said that. That's not really what I meant. I just think that there's limitations with him in the offense. Now, when bro goes out there, Dan Campbell, and he puts on the glasses and he starts calling these plays, hey, look, that's a way to prove me wrong. I mean, the offense was cooking. First drive of the game, 3 and 5, back shoulder pass to J-Mo, and then a nasty Texas route to Gibbs. Now, what a Texas route is essentially a route where the running back coming out of the backfield acts like he's going to the flat, which is what you see a lot. The flat is just a run kind of straight to the sideline, in which they get like a, you know what I mean? You catch it with like 2 yards. You fake that, and then you cut back inside the linebacker. Gibbs runs it as good as anyone in the NFL. cooked with that route. And him and J-Mo knew that with Campbell and the glasses that they were going to come out and have a good time. That celebration to me was kind of one of the biggest things in the game. They went bah, 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 bah. Whatever they did. I forget what they did. They did something together in synchrony. They knew they were going to light up this defense. Up 7-3, they had let up a field goal. Then Jared Goff starts cooking, finding Laporta. Goff was also great this game too. Offense was just ridiculous. When we get into some of these numbers, it's crazy. But they went down the field. And then Amara got a touchdown. They had the little celebration circle around him. He hit his little move. So they knew they were going to light up this team. And on defense, 3rd and 8, they call blitz. Then it just becomes about Gibbs toting, running down the field. And then he had the run up 14-3 where he's pushing backwards with his legs through 3 people. Incredible run. Right before half, they got it up to 25-10. And then J-Mo scored his TD, and he was just like, thank you. I finally got to get one, along with Amara and Gibbs. They were cooking this defense easily. Now, a couple things need to be noted about the Commanders' defense. I would say other than the Bengals and maybe the Cowboys, they're playing the worst defense of anyone in the league, and you could argue it's worse than them. They are currently ranked 23rd in defense, allowing points per game, allowing 27 per game, 29th in passing defense, allowing 230 yards per game, and 22nd in running defense. They are not very good. However, even with those, they've actually been playing way worse than that. They let up 44 to the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. They let up 38 to the Seahawks, basically 31 by halftime. In this game, I mean, they let up 25 at half. Now, I think Dan Campbell did some things very well. They were running the ball much more. They were getting Montgomery the ball a little more as well. However, I do think that what's it called? We do have to temper that excitement just a tad. I'm telling you guys, the Commanders' defense is awful, but for the Lions to look that good, that's a good thing. I think at this point, Dan Campbell has to keep the reins, right? And let's just be honest, Lions fans. I mean, you guys blow out bad teams all the time. The Commanders, without Jaden Daniels, are a very, very bad team. And so bad that, guys, I'm not a Lions hater. Yes, I made the video about, okay, is Jared Goff going to be the problem from stopping them from winning the Super Bowl, not making the playoffs. He is very good. He helps them make the playoffs. He runs that offense extremely well, especially when it's cooking. You give him some time. And, I mean, this game, let's go through the numbers now. Goff, 25 for 33, 320 yards passing. Excuse me. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, he was unbelievable. No turnovers for the offense. Gibbs, 15 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, receiving, 3 catches, 30 yards, a touchdown. Montgomery, 15 rushes, 71 yards. Jamison Williams, 6 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. Amara, 558, a touchdown. Laporta, 53. They're very talented. They were dominating out there offensively, and that's what they were supposed to do, but they went out and they did it. So I think, I'm sorry, Lions fans, I'll give you credit. Again, go back and watch the preview. I had my easy button out. I don't know where it is right now because I'm always scrambling, but I had the easy button out. I hit it. I called you guys the lock of the week. Tony L. Tigre was saying 3.5 with the Commanders. He should probably actually make a bet on that. I hope he did, because that was the easiest thing I've ever seen. You guys against a bad team, off of a loss. Dan Campbell's also never lost a game after a loss. He's never lost back-to-back games, I think, in the last, 3 years. Ever since 4 years. Ever since they you know what I mean, figured it out and became good. Now, this week, on the other hand, here they come. They're taking on Philadelphia Eagles Sunday night in Philadelphia in the cold. Dan will probably have the glasses out. You can't put the glasses away for this one. That's going to be extremely, extremely interesting. The Eagles so far up to this point, 7-2. They lead the conference. Detroit, if you beat us, I'm an Eagles fan, so if you beat us, you're tied for at least number 2 in the conference. And it's going to be number 2 because either Seattle or the Rams would be number 1. Both those teams are 7-2, so whoever wins that matchup, which is also happening this week, that would happen. But you would continue your climb in the NFC. You would beat a strong team in what I assume would be cold weather. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested. We got to see what happens in that game. But a good win. I was impressed with what I saw. I mean, they came out there and they blew the doors off them, and the offense just was doing whatever they wanted, which we haven't seen that version of the Lions in a while. So let's see what happens with them going forward. I also like the run distribution, 15 rushes. Montgomery got him going with Gibbs. Got him going. But let's see if they can do that on the Eagles, which looked a little bit better stopping the run, much better than the Commanders. But even with Phillips, they look better stopping the run. Passing-wise, Goff might be under some pressure again. Jalen Carter coming up middle. But there's going to be a lot of components to that game that are very, very interesting. And I'm excited to see how they look against the Eagles Sunday night primetime football. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.